Again to the notion of the network, and that's related to the third law, which is around the governance of incentives. So we know what are the incentives of public networks like Bitcoin. You know, I will mine because I could get rewarded with a free Bitcoin.
Correct.
What are the incentives that we're talking about here in these kind of scenarios?
Okay, so we're talking here about the governance function, and there are many levers that this governing function can pull to design the incentive model. Okay, so we start off with the easy stuff, which is around the operational improvement that you get through consuming this service. And as I mentioned before, we need to be very careful that each member is getting a fair set of benefits from this. And you may find that some members are doing something really useful to the network, but they don't get that much value out of it. So we're going to have to fix that. We're going to have to find some other mechanism to address that. So the first class of benefits or incentives then is just the operational improvement you're going to get in your business through consuming the service. The second thing though is we need to recognize that we are bringing this new marketplace to market. And depending on the model that we follow, this could be a for-profit model. So who owns those profits, right? So you may well find that you end up with like the rule of 5, where the first 5 members who are starting to form this marketplace may have slightly higher privileges than the second 5, slightly higher privileges than the third 5. Possibly in terms of the equity ownership of the business, depending on what model you follow. But even if you go for a not-for-profit, you could still follow that same sort of 5 by 5 by 5. And you might say, well, okay, so let's say one of the first 5 is putting some money in their pocket to help build out this marketplace. Well, how are they going to be incented for that? Well, okay, I'm going to give you some privileges. Maybe if an innovative new service is going to be added on that layer above into the marketplace, you get exclusive access to that service for a period of 3 months before other people get access to it. Maybe you'll get lower cost access to the basic services of this marketplace for a period of time until you get your money back. Maybe with some upside. So there's a whole load of mechanisms there in deciding, how you're going to reward those initial founding members who are putting their hands in their pocket and they're helping to build out this initial marketplace. But it's not just that which needs to be incented, because this is all about data, right? This is all about volumes. This is all about network effects. The first folks onto the marketplace are really driving disproportionately high benefits to the marketplace as a whole, because they're building out the foundations. So even if they have no equity ownership in the market, even if they have no privileged position in terms of defining the rules of the marketplace, we still need to incent them. So what you might do is you might have a freemium model, where maybe you look at the services that you're going to be offering in this optimization layer, and you say, well, okay, I'm going to offer this free, perhaps, for the first initial providers for a period of time. Or maybe I'm going to bundle my services up. So I'll have like a tiered offering. So the base level will be free, but then the more exciting services, like, for example, last mile visibility, you have to pay for. So I have to find a way to make it as easy as possible for folks to want to join and to make sure they have a real incentive. And I have to recognize that I've got multiple parties in my marketplace, multiple groups, and each group needs to have an appropriate incentive for that group. And you add them all up together, and we need to have reinforcing behaviors, so we're all pointing in the same direction. So there is a real governance God function here to build that incentive model. And if there's one thing that the governance has got to get right, it's designing that incentive model to push everybody in the same direction.
Excellent. So sticking to